Welcome to Beans and Breakdowns, a podcast dedicated to bridging the gap between specialty coffee and the heavy music community. On this episode, I'm joined by Spencer Guerrero, vocalist of the band Agonize. So grab a fresh cup of coffee and wake the fuck up! What's up, caffeinated crew? On this episode, I'm joined by an old friend, somebody I haven't seen in quite a long time. We were just talking about it, but Spencer, who is from the band Agonize. What's up?
What's up? How are you?
I'm good. It's good to see a familiar face, you know.
Seriously, man.
Like a reunion of sorts.
Yeah, like a 10-year reunion.
Straight up.
It's wild.
10-year.
Feels like I'm 19 again.
Am I that much older than you?
How old are you?
31.
No, I'm turning 30 in October. So,
oh, okay.
No, not much. Yeah, all my friends are 31 anyway, so.
Made me feel old.
No, yeah. I'm feeling old now.
Tell me about it.
But it's been chill. Feeling older, but more confident. A little wiser.
Every day, you know, you get a little bit wiser, a little bit more knowledgeable about the world.
Hopefully a little more patient, you know, as you just deal with the same shit over and over.
Oh, man. Try working. I know that you work in your tattooer, but I work in coffee right now, and it's like, I don't, sometimes.
It seems like a lot. Yeah.
Yeah.
I feel like I definitely couldn't deal with grumpy people in the morning. That are like just tired and want their coffee, hungry.
That I can empathize with because I've been there. You know what I mean?
Yeah. Yeah.
It's more so when a person complains because their coffee drink smells weird and they think it's the oat milk is stale and it's not, and the ice smells weird and I'm like, it's ice.
Yeah, I don't know. Maybe they have long COVID or something.
Maybe that's what it was. Maybe I should be more empathetic. Maybe you're right. You're right.
Maybe they just can't smell anymore. I don't know.
Your sense of smell is off, boss.
Oat milk being stale. I don't think I'd ever notice, even if it was.
I assured them, I'm like, I opened this. It was delivered today and I opened it 30 minutes ago because.
Yeah, you probably go through it fast, I'm sure.
Yeah. Like
it doesn't sit around long enough.
A carton doesn't last more than an hour.
Yeah, exactly. So. That's so funny. It's like when people complain about tap water at restaurants and stuff. Sometimes the water's kind of funky at restaurants though.
So when you can taste the soap that they wash the glass with, I hate that.
Yeah.
That's weird.
Get that taste in the back of your throat.
Do you get weird complaints from clients?
No, not usually. I mean, usually anything weird with clients happens like beforehand. Like they'll have weird requests or they'll be like kind of unnecessarily picky, especially when they don't really understand how it works. But for the most part, people are usually pretty stoked to be getting tattooed. So that's like definitely a plus of the job. I think I've only had one guy kind of have a bad attitude and he was just kind of grumpy when he came in anyway. And I think that's just how he is. But yeah, usually people are really happy, and I deal with a lot of tourists that are on vacation. So they're just chilling, having fun. So most of the time it's cool.
How many infinity symbols have you tattooed on people?
Dude, a lot. A lot. It's funny too, because you'll see the trends from like, you know, years ago when these moms were younger, it's still popular to them. So they'll get the infinity sign that was cool like 20 years ago. It's still cool to them. And they're kind of not on like the new trends yet, but it's really funny.
Like a Jesus fish infinity symbol on your foot.
Yeah. Or they always try to remix it too. They want to put like all of their kids' names in there and like their anniversary date and like a paw print for their dog that died. And, you know, maybe some angel wings for their grandpa. Because they only want one tattoo. They don't want to be covered in stuff. So they want to put all their ideas in one. Then they want it really small, which is, you know, that's just not how it works. But
just do a leg sleeve. You just got to do a leg sleeve.
Yeah, exactly. We'll just have to start the first piece. That's my job security, is just to make sure they keep coming back.
I can do 1/30 of what you want.
Just one at a time. Let's break all your ideas into separate things.
Come back quarterly for the next 15 years and we'll have something worked out.
Exactly. Yeah. Every time you vacation to Savannah every 4 years, then I'll be here.
Every blackout St. Patty's Day. Come on in.
Yeah. Yeah. I don't go to work on St. Patrick's Day.
Hell no.
No
I
way.
worked the Jinx one St. Patrick's Day weekend, and
Oh,
that
God.
was
Right
enough,
on Congress too, man.
dude.
Even being on Broughton, I'm like, the parade goes down the street. There's no parking. The roads are closed. There's just no point.
Mm-mm.
Me and Nolan will usually just ride bikes around town, just like see the shit show.
Is it like beach cruiser bikes? Because that would be dope.
We used to ride like fixed gear
Yep.
when that was like a thing, but then we just switched them back to the freewheel or whatever they call it.
So just like single
So just like
seats.
a regular bike. Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
And I ride with a brake. I was never that brave.
Mm-mm. Ryan wrote, I don't know if he still does because he never talks to me because he sucks, but he used to ride brakeless, and then he even got like 3 months in, he got a bike tattoo that's like a never stop pedaling tattoo.
That's dope.
I was like, that's
You literally
commitment.
can't. Dude,
No.
John Edwards, he would ride brakeless and no straps on his pedals, just raw. I'm like, damn. I wish I had the leg strength to even fathom
That sounds
skating
like
that.
that's like a death wish though.
That is scary. Yeah, but I don't think he ever got hurt. He always made it back.
Dude, shout out John, man. He's killing it right now.
Dude, seriously, super stoked for him.
Do you have coffee?
I have water.
Damn. In a solo cup. What the hell?
Yeah, I'm crazy. I like the microplastics. No, I kind of do the Andrew Huberman thing where I wait like an hour and a half after I wake up to drink caffeine. I woke up at like 8, but I don't have any coffee on me. Usually I drink those yerbas. I'm kind of like addicted to those.
The soda one or the regular one?
The regular, yeah, like the non-sparkling.
Mm-hmm.
Because I can just drink it a little easier. It's kind of more like Arizona tea.
Yeah.
I like those. I really like coffee more for the pleasure of it.
Mm-hmm.
Like if I'm getting together with friends and going to like a physical coffee shop. But as like a daily thing, it just kind of hurts my stomach. Like I have a kind of a sensitive stomach about stuff. So I'll get a latte, and I'll just kind of like suffer for a little bit.
Mm-hmm.
But I'll get like oat milk at least to try to not have so much milk.
Dude.
But I like it. And it doesn't fuck me up that bad. But the yerbs, I think, are just a little easier for me.
Less acidic.
Yeah. Yeah. And then if I'm drinking one like every day too. So unless I'm making my own coffee, I don't really want to spend like $7 every day. The 3 is a little easier to swallow.
It's true.
But I do like a coffee on the weekends and special occasions.
Especially if you're going getting like a latte or some shit at like Coffee Fox, that is like $7.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, Nolan likes going to this place, Origin, and it's good. It's just a little pricey. So every time I'm like, might mix it up and get something cheaper.
So Origin's an old friend of mine.
Oh, is it Matt, right?
Yeah.
Matt, the owner, because there's Matt, the owner, and there's Matt, I don't know if he's a manager. He works there too.
I just know the owner, Matt Higgins.
Yeah, I think he actually, I've never talked to him about this, but I'm pretty sure he used to be like my RA in college.
Did you go to SCAD?
Yeah.
He probably was.
I think he was like the RA that was the leader of the RAs, of like all the other RAs. Because I remember seeing him.
I just know him from church stuff.
Okay, yeah. That makes more sense.
Yeah.
Was it when you guys were doing like the city church stuff?
Yeah, but he went to Bull Street Baptists.
Okay.
They had like a big like student college program.
Is that the big one over by like the barbershop and all that stuff?
Yeah,
on Bull, like the intersection?
Mm-hmm.
Okay, yeah. Yeah, oh, yeah. They just built that whole new. Is the porch like a youth building or something?
I have no idea.
It looks pretty cool, man.
Dude, I haven't been to Savannah in like almost 3 years.
Dude, it's a lot different than even then.
Shit.
It's crazy. Way different than when I moved here.
Yeah, I last time I went, I was there for like a day because like I had to go visit my mom for a funeral like in Florida, and we drove up together.
Okay.
And so I literally had like 1 day to stay there.
Yeah.
And I mean, it was interesting, but I try not to do too much in one go.
Yeah, and there's a lot to do now. It's definitely becoming like a little Charleston-ish,
but less racist.
Yeah, I just mean like it's getting a little too clean and pristine for me.
I don't like that.
It's not as freaky anymore.
Dirty Savannah. That's what I want.
Exactly. And there's still parts of that, but downtown is definitely like bachelorette heaven, man.
Yes.
I don't know. All the restaurants and bars now all cater kind of more to tourists, and working downtown, a lot of like the quick lunch spots are kind of gone now. But we figure it out. Going to shows has been making it feel kind of like the old days too a little bit. But it's like better now.
What's the venue though?
There's a couple. So Greyface opened one called Lodge of Sorrows. And that's over by, it's kind of hard to explain if you don't know the area, but it used to be a SCAD sculpture building. And I guess they were renting it, but it was like an old, I don't know, maybe something to do with the railroad, but the building's really old and like the wood floor is like these huge wooden beams, but it's under the overpass kind of if you're going towards like 16 by the SCAD dorms and stuff.
It's next to Chatham Steel.
Oh, yes.
Okay.
Yeah, where you can read the logo from the roof on the Yes, it's right next to that. Exactly. I always forget about that. But yeah, right on the other side of that weird sculpture garden and those trees, it's that building.
Okay.
But it's specifically like the back lot. I think it used to be the SCAD wood shop. Because I remember the plywood floor and stuff. But it's sick. It's a really big space. And they have like a pretty good deal, to book the place. And the sound system is decent. You can fit a lot of people in there. And it's a cool stage, and it's all ages is like the most important part. That's really what we were looking for.
Yeah.
Because everything else is just a bar. Other than that, it's like you're going to play at El Rocco, which is going to be 21 and up.
Yeah.
Or Sentient Bean, which is cool, but it's a little smaller than what we were going for.
Sentient Bean, I thought was pretty big.
The room I think is big, but Lodge of Sorrows is probably like 2 or 3 times the size of that room.
Damn.
It's like pretty huge. Yeah.
Are y'all filling it up though?
Yeah. First show we did there sold out. And then I think the second one ended up reaching capacity. Didn't like technically sell out, but reached capacity by the time the show was going on. So they've both been really good. The first one was an Ends of Sanity headline, I think. And that was our first show. And then the second time we headlined, coming back from a little run with another Savannah band called Street Sweeper. And those dudes are sick. They're younger guys kind of carrying the torch and flyering really hard and touring a lot.
Dude,
so they're helping a ton.
Flyering has been coming back. It's just sick.
It's crucial, man. They were telling us that they ran into some kids downtown just like tearing the flyers down. And I guess not to be malicious, but because they wanted to have it for like their dorm or whatever. Which is kind of funny, but it's kind of sick too.
Yeah.
I can't hate on that. I mean, I guess I'd probably do the same thing if I was like 17.
It's a little based. Just make sure that the date is past the date.
Yeah,
of
exactly.
The show.
Can you leave up a few at least so that people can see this, or at least tell your friends?
Like wait until the date after the show and then go back and get the one that you want.
I'll print you one, and I have a stack at the shop. So come by the tattoo shop and you can take one if you want.
Just come grab one, please.
Yeah,
please leave my flyer up.
But I'm glad they're stoked. The crowds are really funny these days though, because it's just a mix of all kinds of people. And I think bands like Sanguisugabog and other kind of like half hardcore, half death metal bands have kind of made all these crowds so mixed. But there's always like some young kids in corpse paint, which is really funny. I'm into it, but it's definitely like a little strange. I'm like, corpse paint at a hardcore show is interesting, but maybe they have no other time in their life they could do that.
Yeah.
So they're like, the show is my chance to experiment away from my parents.
Is it like corpse paint, trip pants, fishnet?
Yeah, 100%. It's like I was going to compare it to some rapper, but I don't even know what I'm talking about.
Ghostmane?
Yeah, maybe some of that, but I feel like the style definitely comes from like rap now. I don't know. Like I feel like that's where they're being exposed to it.
But like the weird, not emo. It's more than emo. It's like horror rap.
Yeah, I guess you would have called it like horrorcore before with like Evil Pimp and other like that Memphis kind of stuff, and like ICP, whatever. I guess you'd still call it that. I feel like that you could come up with a better name. I've seen trap metal. Maybe that's a different thing. I don't know.
Trap metal feels more like
it's more metal, but with rapping.
Yeah, like no, opposite. Like it's rap, but with like metallic sounds, I guess. Like you
with like guitar.
Yeah, before they got canceled, like City Morgue.
Oh, okay.
I would call that trap metal, but I don't know if I'm out of line. I'm also like 31 years old, so I'm
exactly. I don't think I've listened to them. I don't keep up with some of that. I mean, the rap that I like, that I get into is just like the shittiest stuff. Like, I don't know. I liked Yeet. I liked that guy 645 AR when he came out. And he was just like squeaking. And I think most people were hating it, but I I appreciated that it was different, at least.
RXK Nephew.
Who's that?
Oh, you got to listen to RXK Nephew.
Sounds sick. I just listened to this guy. What was it? R Rocket, but it's like RROXKET.
That sounds dope.
Yeah, he's interesting. It's definitely kind of shitty and weird, but
yeah,
sometimes I just need that brain rot.
And you just put it on, you vibe. You know what I mean?
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, I'll put it on when I draw or whatever. I don't have to like really pay attention.
I play this one song by RXK Nephew literally every single time we leave, like after loading our gear to go play a show. Because it's a 9-minute song.
Oh, hell yeah.
But he like flips the beat back like 3 times.
Oh, okay.
It's crazy.
So it's like a 3-parter.
Oh, he's just rambling the whole time.
Dude, that's crazy.
But
it's like he's trapped in the closet.
I'm not kidding. It's on par, but more like thought out, if that makes less thought out, but like more emotional. I don't know how to describe it.
I guess that makes sense. Yeah.
Like it sounds like he's just venting.
Trapped in the closet seems pretty thought out.
Yeah.
Pretty premeditated.
I sent a Trapped in the Closet clip, like just a little snippet to the band chat the other day because I was like, this fits so perfectly. And then they were like, that's what sick. The fuck? This guy's crazy.
Dude, what's kind of fucked up is I think I heard the Weird Al version before I ever heard like the original. Trapped in the Drive-Thru.
Yeah, that's like White and Dirty. I heard that before I heard Ride and Dirty.
Yeah, I think I heard Ride and Dirty just because it was on the radio.
Mm-hmm.
But I think the Weird Al one came on the radio too, right?
Yes.
I'm pretty sure they both did. And like for the first few seconds, you didn't know which one it was going to be.
That beat pops. It's like a toss up of if you'll get Weird White Guy or actual thugs.
Exactly. What was that? Who was that? Chameleonaire?
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
Houston.
Oh, okay. I knew that.
I married somebody that grew up in Houston, so I've been educated on Houston rap, and it's a constant fight. There's a lot of that. Yeah. Who's better? Is it Atlanta or Houston?
I do like Houston stuff.
I'm a dirty South boy. Like I mean, Outkast and Goody Mob are like.
Yeah, I mean, and most of the popular rap now is coming from Atlanta too. It's kind of like the capital.
Yeah.
I wouldn't
take pride
in it. It's the best, but you hear it a lot.
Yeah.
It's everywhere. For better or worse. Yeah. You know, I do like some Migos songs.
I liked it when they came out and it was the only people doing that shit. But then it was okay, y'all just doing the same thing on different beats.
Exactly. Yeah. Then they kind of split off. I don't really keep up with it too much anymore.
Me neither. I didn't say what I was drinking because I am drinking more than water.
Oh, okay.
I got some coffee from the Barn.
Nice.
It's a Berlin coffee roaster. And this is their Bumba Hill Lot too. It's the Kayazan. Oh, I can't pronounce this fucking word. It's a town in Burundi.
Okay.
Where they grew it. And that's
how you know it's good when you can't pronounce it.
When you can't pronounce it. It's because it's like a whatever Burundi dialect is. And it's got like dark chocolate, lychee, and creamy notes.
Okay. That sounds good. Sounds like a coffee that I would like.
It's so complex. Like I opened the bag and smelled it and I was like, yeah, this shit's gonna hit. And
okay. That sounds like it'd be worth hurting my stomach for sure.
Straight up. I can feel the poops.
Oh yeah. Sometimes you need that though.
Yeah.
Sometimes that's the point.
At my age, anything helps, honestly.
They've been trying to get me on that Metamucil, but I'm not 30 yet. I'm trying to hold off.
I also I've been flip-flopping between taking creatine. This is my meathead gym bros. I've been taking creatine here and there, trying to work out the right spot. And if you don't know, creatine makes your stomach life kind of hell for a bit.
I would imagine. Yeah, that makes sense.
Well, because it pushes all of the water in your body to your muscles.
Oh, okay. So it dries you out.
Exactly. So you have to constantly be drinking water or else you're going to pay the price.
You're probably taking a piss all the time.
Every 30 seconds.
Man. That's what happens with those yerbas, man. I have to pee every 30 minutes pretty much.
It's going to hit the point now where you're like, all right, I've had the canned yerba. Now I got to buy the big bulk bag and have your little Argentinian like straw cup
Dude,
thing?
yeah, I've been wanting the whole kit. Yeah, exactly. But I'm thinking like maybe I'll go to Mate Factor and try one there. But I'm just kind of scared of that place.
Don't support that business, dude.
Yeah, it freaks me out. Everyone else is like, "Oh, it's fine," but
It's
I don't
not
know.
fine. It's
I
not
don't know.
fine.
It freaks me out. I don't want to support a cult, and the people are just strange.
They have
I
a
don't know.
history of like child abuse and sexual abuse and stuff.
Yeah, that's what I've heard, and like the child labor and stuff.
Not cool.
So it's a beautiful space, but I think I'm good on that. I
Looks
don't
like
want to be
a
recruited or anything.
looks like a Lord of the Rings like Hobbit hole.
It does. That's what I tell people. Yeah, I'm like, oh, it literally looks like the Hobbit in there,
Mm-hmm.
or Harry Potter or something. All the woodwork, and I think they built all that themselves too.
They did.
That's like their whole deal. Yeah, I know they have like Yellow Deli in Colorado or something too. It's like the same cult, 12 Tribes.
Yep.
And I watched some YouTuber like infiltrate it and go in there with the video glasses or whatever. I think basically they're trying to like assemble the 12 tribes and they're all going to kill themselves or something.
Yeah, and the leader apparently was like a deadhead,
I guess that makes sense.
and he like founded it during the Jesus movement in the 70s and would go around to Grateful Dead concerts and find people that were basically tripping on LSD and recruit them to join the tribe.
Yeah, like disenfranchised people who are in a moment of weakness or something.
Yeah, like take advantage of their like vulnerability.
Right. Yeah, that's pretty crazy. I remember reading about it, and they did say like Christianity is the horror of religion or something. And I was like, shit, all right.
How did you get into heavy music? Because you're from Statesboro, right?
Yeah, so it was tough. Definitely through the internet. MySpace at first, I think I would have been in middle school on MySpace. So it was a lot of like the emo scene kind of stuff of like the early mid 2000s, Rise Records kind of stuff,
Yep.
And then started getting into like the Warped Tour kind of shit. I always liked AFI. I think December Underground was like the album that was new when I got into them. But I had in elementary school, my best friend's older brother was in high school, and he was kind of a shithead, and he like taught us about AFI, and I think Panic at the Disco just came out, and Gorillas and all that kind of stuff. He had some Linkin Park stuff, and he'd play all these songs in his car and just drive us around and whatever. One time he downloaded like the Anarchist Cookbook from the public library in Statesboro, I guess, and like printed it out and taught us how to make Molotovs with light bulbs, and like showed us how to clean out the light bulb and filled it with gas. And then he took us to his ex-girlfriend's street and like showed us how it worked on her dirt road or something.
That's crazy.
And he's like blasting Gorillas and AFI. And I was like, I don't know what this is, but I like it. And I think American Idiot, Green Day was like out at the time, just all that kind of stuff. So that was definitely the entry. And then watching AFI music videos and stuff, kind of got me, I guess, adjusted to listening to that kind of stuff. And a little bit of Hawthorne Heights in like early middle school. But I don't think I really got into that stuff until probably like 7th or 8th grade, anything like screaming. And that was probably some bullshit like Escape the Fate or whatever was on. I was definitely finding stuff on MySpace at the time. So whatever emo scene shit I could find on MySpace. But then I want to say, because I was listening to like the Ghost Inside kind of stuff, that entry level sort of like metalcore, but it's almost hardcore.
Eurocore.
Yeah, that's a good word to describe it. And I think on Tumblr too, that's when I really started learning about hardcore, learning about Trapped Under Ice and all those kind of bands. TUI, I think, was the first hardcore band I listened to, and I hated it at first because I was so used to those over-processed vocals, with the vocal fry. And I was like, what the fuck is this? This guy sucks. But I think it was Believe too. I saw the video for that. And like the moshing and the crowd stuff was crazy, and I'd never seen anything like that. And I didn't like the vocals, but then it was one of the songs that would just get stuck in my head when I wasn't listening to it. And I just kept going back to it and kind of learning more and more about that. And then I think TUI ended up being my first hardcore show in Jacksonville. And that was kind of like the the rest of that. The more I learned about that, I just started doing more research and buying merch and got into Terror and all the other sort of bigger bands that were kind of easier to access at the time.
Mm-hmm.
Just kind of going from there. But definitely started slow with some pretty bad stuff that got me there eventually.
It's crazy, like the what do you call it? Like scene rock, I guess.
Yeah. I don't know what you'd call it. I don't know. Because you could call it metalcore or pop punk, but that doesn't really quite, it's a different thing.
Like the whole Escape the Fate, Falling in Reverse, like Ronnie Radke, Iceberg.
Right.
Because they're still huge.
Yeah, he's like bigger now.
Yeah, it's insane. I follow this guy. He's like a drum tech on YouTube. And he tours with A Day to Remember, which is bigger than ever, apparently.
I may have seen that guy.
Matt Horn is his name.
Okay. Oh, maybe not.
But he's Luke Holland's like drum tech.
Oh, sick.
Yeah, it's crazy. Like I had
so
no
he's
idea.
Doing some huge tours.
Yeah, he's like on tour with Falling in Reverse, and the opener is who was that fucking band? That was Black Veil Brides is opening for Falling in Reverse, and I'm like, these guys were huge.
Yeah, that's interesting because I kind of thought Black Veil Brides fell off. I didn't really. I mean, I don't keep up with that shit, but I just feel like I stopped hearing about them.
Apparently, Attack Attack is a band again.
Oh, really?
Yeah, they play shows now, and it's horrible.
Huh. I wonder if it's because he did Beartooth or whatever the other band.
Caleb Shomo.
Yeah, and then the other guy does
Bill Murray.
Yeah, that's right. I was like, I knew the other guy did something, and I didn't know he was an Attack Attack guy until like Tom or somebody told me.
Wasn't he the Christian guy that sang all the lyrics?
That would make sense.
I think it's that guy.
I feel like I looked up pictures of him one time, and maybe he was on a keyboard or something. I don't know.
Maybe so.
No, maybe he had a guitar. I don't know.
Oh, one of those dudes was Christian, and that's why all the lyrics were all like Christian-y.
Okay. I just assumed they were a Christian band. I mean, like every band was Christian at the time.
Christcore.
Yeah. Well, and you could play like more venues.
Yep.
And you could get free Chick-fil-A and stuff like that.
Go play church basements and stuff.
Yeah,
and
you could play the 7 venue.
R.I.P. the 7 venue. I went to Barbecue Fest like 3 times and it was sick.
Dude, I never went there, but when I was younger, that was like my dream to go to the 7 venue.
Yeah.
Because all those bands were playing there. And I heard the floor was slanted.
It was an old movie theater.
An old theater. Yeah. It's so funny.
When I was going to school in Birmingham, some friends and I would go to shows at the 7 venue. Like we drove to see Sleeping Giant one time.
Oh, that's a 7 venue band for sure.
With Betrayal and First Blood.
Oh, sick.
Which was insane. And it was the first time I had seen Scary Guy hardcore.
Yeah.
Like First Blood. And the guy's like, I used to be really angry all the time. And I used to want to fight everybody. I'm like, you still look like you want to do that.
Yeah, you probably still do. Yeah.
He's like, but now I have love for people. I was like,
that's his testimony.
What kind of show is this? This is fucking, he's like, now fuck somebody up. And it's like,
oh man. Yeah. I heard they would ban you from playing there again if you cussed and stuff.
No, they didn't do that.
Okay. I heard they did that to Ask Me Alexandria, but maybe that's because
that might have been earlier on. Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, they just straight up Birmingham, they got banned from a venue they played for a very long time because they told everybody to jump up and pull the ceiling down, and it caused $100,000 worth of damage to the venue.
Yeah, that's pretty nuts.
Yeah.
Damn.
Yeah, Ask Alexandria sucked.
Yeah, they were. I liked them for like a year in high school or something, but
that one song.
Yeah, I mean, I couldn't even tell you what it was now. I couldn't tell you the name of like one of their songs, but yeah. It was all that shit. It was like Miss May I, Memphis May Fire, all that Warped Tour stuff that I can't get into now.
Oh, I've heard it called Mallcore before too. I think that's pretty funny.
That makes sense. Yeah. Mallcore makes a lot more sense.
The 7 venue was very, very dope. Like Barbecue Fest, if you would go, you get a free plate of barbecue with admission.
Damn.
There's like scary big dudes playing Foursquare outside. They also used to do like, they would do some other stuff, which was pretty funny, like just weird random games. But the mix of bands was so strange.
I feel like I remember seeing the flyers and stuff.
Like
the
year I went, I saw Foundation, Mongoloids, Kubla Khan.
That's already a crazy lineup.
Like Born of Osiris.
Oh, dude, yeah. All that stuff was so big at the time.
And the Chariot headlined, of course.
Oh, yeah. Were they from Georgia?
They were from that. That was like
From Douglasville.
the singer's father-in-law owned the 7 venue.
Oh, okay. Oh, yeah, because they had the Douglasville song.
Yeah. Before there was Atlanta, there was Douglasville.
That makes a lot of sense. Okay. Damn, headlining their own fest. Respect.
Sounds Nepo babies.
Yeah. Dude, yeah, literally. I remember seeing them for the first time at Rocktoberfest.
Yeah.
Rocktoberfest 1.
I remember. And
I
Richmond
think
Hill.
Gideon played too when they were like still a Christian band.
Yep.
And now they're trying to act not Christian or whatever.
That band sucks.
Yeah. He's got the cowboy hat.
The guitarist that was in it for a long time, he's not in it anymore. He used to book a lot of shows around Birmingham, and he was friends with like a band that I was really good friends with called Nothing Till Blood.
Okay. I've heard that band or heard the name for sure. But yeah, that was funny. They came back and he wore the cowboy hat and they popped off.
Terrible. If you wear a cowboy hat now.
Cowboy hats are kind of like 3 or 4 years ago.
Yeah, I mean, it's played out, but there's people that bought in during that time. So they're like, oh, yeah, cowboy
They're
hats.
like, I've got to do it. Yeah. And maybe he's balding. I can't blame him. Or no, he was always a bald guy.
You should always work the bald. Always work the bald.
Yeah, I think he was always a bald guy.
It's tough.
But man, they did that collab song with that pop country 2 singing guys. I don't know. It was terrible, man. I saw it on Instagram.
Florida Georgia Line? Is that the band?
No, but it's might as well be.
Yeesh.
Lakeview or something. I don't even know.
Well, that sucks.
Yeah, no thanks. No breakdowns in there.
I mean,
and you just gimmicky breakdowns, are just lame. Where you have to shout a phrase in silence before the breakdown comes in.
All right.
It's like, okay.
You say that now, right? 10 years ago, that shit was hard.
Oh, for sure. Yeah, I mean, it can be done. But there's just like a thin line between bands that are cool that do that and bands that are lame that do that,
100%.
And then there's bands that write songs just for the breakdown, which is always a little boring.
Yeah.
But, some people like that.
Yeah. Yeah. I can't.
Some people listen for the breakdowns. So,
I'm very picky about breakdowns now. I used to not be so picky. I'd be like, make it heavy. But now it's like.
Yeah. Yeah. I mean, especially when you've been listening to it for like 15 years, it all just kind of sounds the same until something. For me, it's about the vibe, Mm-hmm. It doesn't matter if the breakdown's heavy or how it sounds. It's just how it works with everything else, with the vocals, with the drums, just the scene it creates in my head, I guess. I don't know.
Even like the mix can have a lot to do with it.
Yeah, that's true. Yeah, the mix can make some stuff sound really thin too, and it doesn't really hit quite the same. And then you see a band live and you're like, oh shit, this song is crazy.
Yeah.
But when you listen to it at home, it just doesn't really hit the same. But I try to listen to new stuff on my good speakers and turn the bass up and stuff too, if I can.
Crank the bass.
Yeah, exactly.
I remember first time I heard Mongoloids, I was like, oh, this is kind of funky and weird. But then when I saw them, I was like, oh shit, this is crazy.
Yeah, exactly. And that was a band where the vocals would have not really hooked me at first. And then I saw them live. I was like, okay, yeah, I'm into this kind of stuff.
It's crazy because we just played with Hold My Own.
Mm-hmm.
And it's so many elements of Mongoloids, but with breakdowns.
Oh, yeah. Yeah, because they were like a little faster, right?
Yeah, they were like very, almost like Lock and Out style.
Yeah, yeah. Circle pity kind of stuff.
Yeah, or like just constant back and forth.
Right.
But they were like a band that if you mosh, they would tell you to stop moshing.
Oh, okay.
Like if you started swinging or whatever, like they would be like, no.
Interesting.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think I only saw them once or twice at that, was it Southeast Beast?
Oh, yeah.
That Jacksonville thing?
Yeah.
It was a pretty cool fest. I think it only happened twice.
It feels similar to Ara, but I think Ara is a bit bigger now.
Yeah, I don't know what he's got going on. The lineup definitely gets a little better every year. I recognize more names every year.
I would love to come and play, but I don't want to come and play like third. So
yeah, I think with that thing too, like, I don't know. It's tricky to talk about. I don't want to burn any bridges with anybody, No,
I mean, I'm not talking shit. I think it's cool for this.
No, it's totally sick. I just think
Savannah has that.
I just think for our music, it's not really like with the bands that headline, it's more of like a metal kind of thing.
Yeah.
And I just don't know if it's really our scene, especially if we're going to kind of open up, you know.
Mm-hmm.
It's a lot of like radio rock people that kind of come in from out of town. And that's dope.
That's cool.
But
It's a vibe.
yeah, I just don't know if it's really something we want to play.
Yeah.
But, you know, respect to them for bringing that to Savannah and doing that every year.
Bring back Rocktoberfest, am I right?
Dude, yeah. The one Rocktoberfest we played at the skate park.
In
That was
Charleston?
random. Yeah, that was really random. But my family was in DC. I had to fly after we left to DC.
That's crazy.
We played and I literally like had to get in a plane, and unfortunately the Charleston airport was like 15 minutes from the venue.
Yeah.
But yeah, I had to go meet my family like right after we played.
I totally forgot y'all played that.
Yeah, I think we got added last minute or something. And I remember Wesley filled in on drums.
Mm-hmm. Oh yes, okay. Now I do remember this.
Yeah,
yes.
Wesley filled in on drums.
Y'all played
that was before
that little tiny stage, like when you walked in, right? Or did you play the stage
we
that was up?
We played the one that was on the ramp.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. It was cool. It's just such a big room. It's like people are 100 feet away watching you.
You can't stage dive.
Yeah, you definitely can't stage dive because you're on a fucking... I can't remember if the ramp was right there or if it was like just a little wall.
It was like a flat run up, and then under it was like a 5.5 foot drop down to the floor.
That's right. Yeah, and it was like, it was very tall. You definitely wouldn't want to jump on that.
No. It was, I mean, respect to Timmy for trying some shit, but it was weird.
Yeah, it had its run.
The one at Sweet Melissa's was also kind of sick.
I thought that one was pretty cool. And Backtrack played, which was dope.
And Stray.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. They were like the headliner or something, right?
Which was weird. Yeah.
It was kind of cool having that room open, though, above Sweet Melissa's. Because I'd always heard stories of that place, but I never been.
That's what I'm saying. Like Drew would always talk about going to shows there.
What was it called? Le Mort Rouge or something?
Yeah.
All my older friends would talk about it.
Everyone in that was a little bit older in high school would be like, oh yeah, they used to have shows and I saw this band and that band there. And I was like, why is it closed? It's still there.
Yeah. It was sick. Once I saw it, I'm like, why do we not do stuff up here? But then once I saw Backtrack play, I was like, oh, this is why. Because if you go to the restaurant underneath, the ceiling, which was the floor of the venue upstairs, would literally bow in. It was like bouncing.
It was buckling.
Dude, I was just waiting for it to fall in. Mm-hmm. That was scary for sure. And the whole floor in there was all like diamond plate steel. It was crazy. Don't spill a drink on that shit.
It was sick as fuck though.
It looked cool.
Because I was playing with Any Otherwise and we played like second downstairs.
Mm-hmm. Oh yeah. I think Coastlines played downstairs.
Yeah.
And I think Timmy's old band, Word Travels Fast, played that too. Because I'm pretty sure, because I remember making because I worked at a t-shirt place, but this was a different thing. I think I made a shirt design for them that was like a Coastlines Word Travels Fast collab shirt because they were both playing that. And the front had like Drake on it or something.
Yeah, and it was like it
was like the album cover.
Yes, I bought that. I had that shirt for so long.
Yeah, I had it somewhere. Every time I move, I just lose like a couple shirts. So now I have nothing pretty much, but I think I had it sleeveless too. But I'm not going to wear a shirt with Drake on it at this point.
What's crazy is if you try to look up Coastlines on Bandcamp, it's Mantra. I think Jonathan changed the name that it's under.
Oh, weird.
Yeah, because I own
he took it over.
I own the EP like on Bandcamp.
Uh-huh.
And
it's under a different name now?
Yeah, it's called Mantra.
Huh. Never heard of that.
Mm-mm.
It's interesting though. Coastlines had some cool songs. Man, I went to so many shows.
Like that venue in Richmond Hill?
Which one was that?
The one that was at like Consumed Church or something like that. They had
Oh, I never went there. I saw pictures though. Was that the one that said like Nehemiah on the stage or something? Okay, I saw photos. I never went though. Because I think they did a Rocktoberfest there before.
Yeah, the second one was there, right?
Probably, yeah. Because the first one was at a church, different church.
It was
that
at the
church
one.
Was kind of cool.
It was.
Like that weird diamond stage main room.
And they couldn't move the piano.
Oh, yeah, the piano. And then it was all carpeted. The stage was like green carpet.
Yep.
Classic church vibe. Won't slip though. You can two-step.
It's giving me a PTSD thinking about it.
Dude, literally. Sometimes I watch my old church I grew up in does like live streams. And on Sundays, I'll like watch the old stream.
What church did you go to?
I went to church in Neville's, Georgia. Like it's a small town. It's one of the small little satellite towns outside of Statesboro.
Okay.
They're basically like Brooklet, or I don't know if you heard of any of those.
I know Brooklet.
Yeah, I grew up in Brooklet, and Neville's is kind of like a similar thing, but even smaller. But it was called Trinity Baptist Church.
Nice.
I mean, I didn't have like a shitty experience in church growing up. I just thought it was boring. But I went there to hang out with friends, stuff.
Yeah.
It was cool. We did a lot of youth group things, but it had a lot of green carpet though.
Man, I was Pentecostal.
Oh, nice.
Yeah. So I have a lot of like weird shit.
You guys had people dancing and stuff in the aisles.
Speaking in tongues and shit.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah. And then...
Dude, I was Southern Baptist, so it was like the complete opposite.
Opposite.
Yeah, silence.
Kind of wish I would have had that, honestly.
It was chill. And they used to say like tongues wasn't real and stuff like that.
Part of me believes that, but part of me also has like strange, unexplainable experiences.
Yeah. Well, I think what they would say is like, if tongues were real and it is the language of God as spoken of in the Bible, you wouldn't need a translator.
Exactly.
Because everybody would just understand it inherently. Yeah. That's what they used to say.
I kind of agree with that.
But, you know, I'm not going to call someone a liar if they feel overcome by the Spirit. I felt pretty emotional about stuff in my life too.
Yeah.
So
emotion and spiritualism.
I could make myself do it if I wanted to.
Exactly. It's a fine line.
Yeah. Yeah. Some of it seems performative, but you know, that's what people are into. Fine.
But City Church was like it was the worst church experience I've ever had in my entire life.
Oh, really?
Like working there is horrible.
Huh. Was that just at on MLK right there?
It was.
They moved it, right?
They had a second one that opened in Pooler, and then they had to move because the rent went up like 50% or something.
Pooler's getting crazy, I hear.
But the one on MLK had to move.
Yeah. Yeah. It's all restaurants there now.
We ended up going to Savannah Theater for a bit.
Okay. Like a pop-up kind of deal.
Yeah. Like we just set up Sunday mornings and like do the service and then leave.
That's kind of cool though. Exit on the square right there. It's a nice little area. It
was pretty sick. Go to Parker's for breakfast after you set up.
Yeah. Oh yeah. It's right there. Man, I like that big room in the back of the MLK one.
When we had like the show there that one time.
Yeah. That was like the perfect place for a show.
We had to stop over there once. I saw nothing.
Oh yeah. I don't think I saw nothing at that show. I think I missed that one, but then they played again on 4th of July at, you know where Perk is? Mm-hmm. Coffee. So in that same like that set of buildings there was like some sort of garage, I guess, that Great
Savannah Pine, right?
Yeah. Yeah. So it's because there's like multiple little kind of office suites in there. And I guess Greyface owned one that was basically just a garage, but they were going to do events there. And nothing was supposed to play on 4th of July. I think it was a free show. And it was like a surprise set kind of thing. Nothing and Culture Abuse opened.
Oh, wow.
And nothing was supposed to play acoustic, which is really funny considering they're like a loud shoegaze band.
The loudest.
And I was like, well, that kind of is a bummer, but I definitely want to go see it. And then I guess at the last minute, they decided to do like a full band, which was sick. So seeing them in a garage in Savannah on 4th of July, and they played July the 4th, and then shot fireworks in the street after, it was pretty cool.
That's one
core memory for sure.
Yeah, that's a band that I cannot, like, no matter what the release sounds like, it's like, okay, I'm into this.
Oh yeah, totally.
So
I Still Dig is my favorite song still.
Yeah.
But I love all the newer stuff.
I think also ACD is a big song for me off the second album.
Yeah. Yeah. I like a lot of that stuff. I like, forget the name of it. The one with the roof painting.
Sick of, Tired of Tomorrow.
Yes. That's a good one too. I listened to that one a lot when it came out.
Mm-hmm.
I think the first time I saw them was in Gainesville.
At the fest?
No, it was just like a one-off show, but it was, I think, Ceremony headlining.
Nice.
Which was one of 2 times I saw them, I think. Nothing, and then Iron Lung.
Whoa.
Yeah, which is super random, but it was sick. And that was the first time, not the first time, but Nothing shirts at the time were $20.
Yeah.
And I was like, damn, they're fucking taxing out here. Now shirts are like $30, $35. Man,
It's
I had it
crazy
good back then.
because we sell our shirts for like 25 or so usually. And then when we go to the States and we sell them for 25 still, we make so much more money.
Oh, I'm sure. Yeah. I mean, we have to sell ours for like 30 because they cost 14 or 15 just to make them. Because the blanks are so expensive now. It's crazy. I also don't order shirts too much. Nolan usually takes care of that because he's got more experience with that kind of stuff.
It's Mr. Band Dude.
Yeah, exactly. Mr. Band Dude, Mr. Shirt Man.
Mr. Shirt Man, face head.
Branching into ceramics.
What?
Our friend Tate made him some ceramics for his latest drop.
Oh, that's dope.
And they're dope. Yeah, they're cool. I love the housewares.
Wait, what's he doing? Is he making shirts now?
Oh, yeah. Restricted VR. Plug it.
Oh.
Yeah. And then Hosian does espionage.
I know about espionage.
And then Tom's got giant size. And I just do tattoos.
I didn't know about giant size. It's crazy. Like,
yeah, he does the comic book stuff.
Last time that, like, what was that Terror Vein tour or whatever that came through here?
Yeah. Oh, yeah. Because I think Nolan was working that one, right?
He was, and Hosian was playing drums.
Mm-hmm.
And I think Tom was also playing guitar for Vein.
I think he was, yeah. Because I went to the Jacksonville date.
And John is mixing Terror.
Yeah, it's hilarious.
But I didn't even know like any of that. And I live next door to the venue.
Yeah, it's like, who would have thought that half of Savannah is just touring and doing all this stuff now?
Just touring with like random bands from New England.
Yeah, well, Hosian plays in Vein and Fleshwater. So he's like their drummer.
Oh, I thought, so Matt's not playing drums anymore?
No, I think he left like a while ago. I think Hosian's been in there for at least like maybe a year.
Oh, I didn't know that.
Yeah, I'm not exactly sure. But yeah, he's been playing Sound and Fury with them and all kinds of huge stuff.
Shit.
So we kind of have to work our schedule around his schedule with those guys because they're obviously doing like much bigger stuff. But we had to fill in before, so we can always kind of work stuff like that out.
I was wondering because you guys dropped that demo, like that first release, like earlier this year, like March?
Yeah, I think it was maybe January or February.
Yeah, it was early.
Yeah, because we recorded it in October last year. So we had like a few months to kind of get that done.
Who did the mix on that?
So John Howard mixed it. I think he's still in Gainesville. He is the older brother of Seth that played in Yashira.
Okay.
Their drummer who passed away a little while ago. Yeah, he mixed it. He recorded and mixed one of my old bands called ROM, which was a Jacksonville band. Okay. And we only ever did 2 songs, but he mixed and recorded that stuff. And that was a good experience. So we were down to go to him again. And then Jeremy from Vein and Fleshwater recorded it in Lowell, where they live. So we went up to like Boston area in October. Hosian was already up there because they were practicing for a run they were about to go on.
Mm-hmm.
So me and Nolan flew up there and just recorded kind of like in their spare time. But they have a practice space that they'd have to practice in, for their tour. So we have to wait for them to be done every night. And then I think we'd start recording at like midnight each night. Jeremy's insane for being up. He barely sleeps. He just works all the time. He's nuts. But we would record at like midnight and get done probably 6 a.m. every morning. Mm-hmm. And it was like drums first night. We got guitars done the second night. Then the third night we had to start on bass. Mm-hmm. And we still had vocals. I think they knocked the bass out. And then it was like 2 a.m. We started vocals. I barely ate anything all day. I think I had like 10 nuggets or something. And I think we tried recording vocals in the practice space and it was too big. So that there was like some weird reverb on the vocals. Mm-hmm. So we did it in the closet at the Vein house. And we started at like 2 something, finished around 4:30. I think I threw up halfway. And I had enough time to like take a shower. And then I think our Uber was there. We had to go to the airport, like without even sleeping.
That's crazy.
Yeah. So I finished the vocals, screamed like 5 songs, and then went back to the airport and flew to Miami. And then missed our flight in Miami back to Savannah. Damn. So we stayed there for like 6 hours. Yeah, dude, it was crazy. When we were going through security at the Boston airport, and I didn't realize this, I guess the Boston airport is where the 9/11 flight came from. So they're super like strict and the security's like really tight there.
Mm-hmm.
And this kid is like younger than me, or, this TSA kid at the bag check or whatever. He's like telling me all these rules. I don't fucking know. He's like, push up the bin, making me do all these things. Like, I don't fucking fly like that. I haven't flown in probably like 10 years before that. I don't know how it works, dude. He's like telling me to push my bag a certain way and don't touch the bin until he directs me to do all this different stuff. And I'm like half asleep still in my head, like dozing off, standing there.
Mm-hmm.
And the guy's like, sir, like yelling at me. And I'm just like not even paying attention to what's going on. I'm just like staring off in the distance. And then finally he gets my attention. He said, I'm good to go. But I was just like standing there. So crazy. Just like in a daze.
In the worst airport in the Eastern US.
Yeah. I'm like, this guy doesn't even know I just did some fucking screamo for 2 hours. Cut me a break.
He doesn't know my life.
Yeah. I was just screaming. Yeah, that was nuts. Yeah, the thing that sucked about being stuck in Miami, because we had a layover there, is the flight from Miami to Savannah is like an hour and a half.
Yeah.
It's so close. But we got stuck for another 6 hours. I was like, oh my, this is horrible.
At that point, you could have
I thought I
rented
was going to have a mental breakdown. I thought about it.
Yeah.
I was telling Nolan, I'm like, dude, should we just try to rent a car and drive? But I guess that would have been 7 or 8 hours plus paying for a car. It's just, might as well just wait.
Get an Uber from the airport, go to Little Havana, get a nice Cuban sandwich.
Dude, that would have been dope, actually. Man, we did have plenty of time to leave. But I was so tired. There was like, I wasn't going to enjoy anything. Just tried to sleep. I think he slept on the floor of the airport. I had an empanada.
An empanada in the airport. That's
in the Miami airport, though, it was solid.
I guess
it wasn't the worst. It wasn't the worst.
It's a big airport. The food in Miami is dope, though, I will say.
I don't think if I ever been to Miami, it was like when I was a kid with my family. Because it's just so far. Furthest I usually go is like Orlando.
Yeah.
Maybe Tampa.
Before COVID, my wife and I, with both of our families, rented like a big ass Airbnb and did Christmas in Miami.
Oh, that'd be sick.
It was crazy. But the food like was insane. It was so good. And then I literally went back the following like January or February for work for Fast and Furious was doing a new trailer drop.
Oh, sick.
And so they did like this big concert for some reason, and like Cardi B and who was it? Fucking Ludacris and
oh yeah, Ludacris of Fast and Furious fame.
Yeah, but he performed.
That's dope.
It was sick. So
that would actually be. I would watch it if I was there.
But I stayed.
Vin Diesel didn't come out.
Oh yeah, he did, and he's fat in real life. Yeah, he's actually fat.
Okay.
Yeah. But
I feel like in real life he'd look like a Vin Diesel impersonator.
He does.
It's so crazy.
He doesn't look like a real person. He looks like I don't know. He's super strange. But I was also like 4 or 5 footsteps away from Tyrese.
Oh shit. That'd be sick.
That's a beautiful man.
I said, don't worry about it, Co.
He's the best.
Dude, I like that. 2 is the one with him and Paul, right?
Yeah.
Too Fast, Too Furious?
Well, Too Fast, Too Furious was the first one Ludacris was in, right?
Probably. Oh, yeah, because he's like the race guy.
And then he did the theme song. It's like Too Fast, Too Furious.
Yeah. Dude, that one's better than the first one.
It is.
I like that one better.
But the first one's got a lot of story building. It's a lot of lore building.
Yeah, and then the third one was Tokyo Drift, right?
Yep.
So they're all just random stories. The first 3.
The first 3.
And then they all start combining them.
Mm-hmm.
Did the Tokyo Drift guy ever come back?
No, he died.
Oh, right? In real life?
Oh, wait, no. I'm thinking of something else. I don't know why they got rid of that dude. Walker definitely died.
He never really came back.
I don't know why that ever even happened. It was
dude. I thought that was a guy from Facing the Giants, but I guess there's no way that could be true because that movie's like way older or way later.
I forgot that movie existed.
I know you know that movie
because it's not something that I don't think anyone in Canada has ever seen.
No, wait, dude, that is like a South Georgia thing. I feel like if you grew up in church in South Georgia in the early 2000s, you probably saw these guys come to your church and give a talk because they literally did that.
I haven't thought about that movie in like 7 years.
Look up, Brock. You're in the end zone.
Jesus.
Man, I want to watch that again for shits and giggles.
Because it was like a church funded that movie.
Yeah.
And it was actors from the church.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, the kid came to our church and like spoke.
Yo.
And the coach guy too, I think.
Anybody listening that wants to know anything about my backstory or Spencer, anybody's backstory that's like from South Georgia, look up Facing the Giants. It's a football movie. It's a
Christian movie.
It's so Christian. It's like the most Christian.
It might even be free on YouTube at this point.
They should make it free. They were profiting off that shit.
I was going to say they might be a little
stingy. They want that Jesus money. But yeah, just look up Facing the Giants. It's pretty good watch.
And then Fireproof is the
I didn't watch Fireproof. I thought that was whack as
that
fuck.
was the Kirk Cameron one. Yeah. That was just one where because they sold the book, it was like about saving a marriage, the whole movie.
Yeah.
But they sold a companion book, which I think was like the whole point.
The workbook.
Yeah, because like the movie was about a book, and then they sold the book in real life about like it was basically couples therapy.
So you watched
all the married couples. I saw the movie as a kid like one time. Yeah. But in my church they played it, and it was like a 4-week thing, and the parents would do a Fireproof devotional or whatever.
The Fireproof challenge.
Yeah. Love your wife for 4 weeks. See if you can. Do you think you can love your wife for $10,000? I don't know. Oh, did you ever see the Power Team?
Dude, the Power Team is sick because there's actually there's a Workaholics episode that basically is like about the Power Team, but they call it the Lord's Force.
Oh, you're talking about Righteous Gemstones.
No.
Okay, well, there's multiple because it's the same guy from Workaholics in Righteous Gemstones.
Adam?
Yeah. Oh, okay. Yeah. I think. Like the chubbier one?
Yeah.
He's not really, but chubbier than the other two.
I had forgotten that he was in Righteous Gemstones.
Yeah. Have you watched Righteous Gemstones?
I have heard that I would really enjoy it.
Yeah. If you're into like church stuff, because the thing is it's definitely very crude, but all the little things they touch on is like stuff you've experienced in church, like the events they put on, there's literally a power team type thing going on where like the guy from Workaholics has like these muscled, oiled up Christian guys that follow him around and like break stuff.
Yeah.
I'm like, dude, this is literally, there's like a Jesus monster truck. It's like all the stuff I would have seen in real life as a kid that I would have thought was sick, that being presented as a joke. I'm like, wow, someone must have grown up in church that is making this show.
Yeah, it has to be.
Because there's a lot of really specific stuff that's pretty funny.
Because isn't it, what's his name? Danny McBride?
Yeah, he might be a producer. He's hilarious in everything.
Because they filmed that in Charleston.
Oh, yeah. Yeah, that makes sense.
Yeah.
I think he was born in Statesboro.
That would track.
Like, I don't think he grew up there or lived there really, but I'm pretty sure he was born there. That's what was like always the rumor.
It's funny that it is filmed in Charleston because I worked for a really big church in Charleston before I moved up here.
Oh, yeah. I don't really know about any Charleston churches.
It's like a 25,000 member church.
Oh, I'm sure they got some big ones up there. Those people have money.
This one's like the biggest one there probably, but yeah. It was a lot of money.
How does that compare to like Savannah Christian?
It's Savannah Christian is kind of its own thing.
Okay.
And it's big, but I think it's like less than 10,000 people.
Oh, okay. I just always heard about that crazy Christmas thing they would do like every other year.
Oh, sick. Actually, I went a few times.
Yeah. I heard it was dope. My girlfriend said she got kicked out because she cussed at one of the Roman guards.
The Star? What was it shit called? The walk? I can't remember. It was like a path.
Yeah. Don't you get on a boat too and cross the river or some shit? Yeah. My parents went. They told me all about it.
There's a boat thing.
I think I was already not going to church by that point.
I just remember that everybody would be like, we got to go to the Link. It was like their student center, the Link.
Oh, okay. Okay.
And
that's where I would go for sure.
There was like a skate park in there and stuff.
Damn.
Like a rock wall.
That's pretty cool.
It was crazy.
There was this random church. Dude, I couldn't even tell you where it was. But I went out there because Coastlines was playing a show. It was in Georgia somewhere, I'm pretty sure. But they had like kind of a recreation room that had a couple little skate things in there. I want to say like Strength and What Remains played that show.
It was Warner Robbins.
Warner Robbins. That makes sense. Because they had that sort of warehouse room next to the venue space, and they had like some skate rails and whatever in there.
Yeah.
Little ramps.
What was the name of that band that was from there? Wanderer?
Oh, maybe, yeah.
Scott Strickland was in a band that was from
Scott
there.
was in that. I think Scott was in that band. Yeah. I think that's how I met him.
That's how I was.
Because he lives here now.
I thought he lived in LA.
I don't know. I don't know where the fuck he lives.
He was in
He came to our show, though.
He was in Savannah for a minute.
I know he's tattooing now, but he came to our show recently and took some photos and stuff.
Maybe he is in Savannah then.
Maybe he's just nearby. I think he's just a traveler.
Scott, where are you at?
I think he's just traveling.
Drop it in the chat.
Nice guy, though.
Nice guy.
Good, solid looking tats.
Did he? I kind of like some of his stuff.
No, yeah. His apprenticing is good for just starting out, for sure.
Did he run Angle Media too?
I think so, yeah, because I think he did a Coastlines video.
He did a Any Otherwise video.
Yeah. Oh, yeah, because they're kind of visually similar.
Yeah. I remember it was him and another guy, I think, but they were both like from Warner Robins.
Was that the one with Eves in the video?
Yes.
And he's walking on the bridge or something?
Yeah.
Dude, yeah, I've seen that. Oh, you were in the band at the time?
Yes, I'm in the video.
Oh, I guess that makes sense.
I recorded the song. Well, I didn't record it, but I played. Okay. We went to Clemson and recorded it.
Okay. That does make sense now. I don't know why I thought, because I hadn't seen the video in a long time. There was like another redhead dude in town that I just thought was in the band.
Who was the other? The only redheads I knew was me and John.
I can't remember. Maybe it was a blonde person.
Oh, Corey.
Oh, yeah. He was. Oh, yeah. I forgot about that guy.
Yeah. He was in the band originally. Then he quit and I joined for like a couple of years.
You replaced him?
And then he came back apparently.
Oh, okay. So you left and then he came back.
Yeah, but I like moved away.
Okay. Yeah. Man, there's been so many random bands. Sometimes I'll go to Ian Ford's YouTube channel and just watch like all the old videos. I'm like, man, remember that?
Wait, the Switch to Kryptonite?
There's that one. And then there was the other one later on that kind of has like more stuff.
Okay.
Because the Switch to Kryptonite kind of ends at a certain point and everything's really, really old.
Like Rocktoberfest, and then there's kind of like similar. It ends.
Yeah, probably. Yeah, exactly. But if you look up Ian Ford, I can maybe even link you. There's like a lot of other stuff.
Shit.
But all the old Savannah, like pretty much every band that ever existed, Bomb Shelter videos, and
I never went there.
It was dope, especially when we would play like outside on the physical bomb shelter, because it was kind of like a 3-foot high stage, just like concrete. But the cops would always get called.
Yeah, of course.
So that was like the one drawback. But shows inside were cool too.
The last show I went to in Savannah was that Advent Jesus Peace show.
Was that
at Wormhole?
At Wormhole. Okay. I couldn't remember if Jesus Peace played that. I think, did Vane play that?
Yes.
Vane played, I think, Absolute Suffering.
Eternal Sleep did.
So, but Vane did play the Advent show.
And Sect. Sect was the headliner.
Oh, yeah, with Andy Hurley.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, that's right. And I think a lot of people showed up just because they were like, oh, it's the Fall Out Boy guy.
There was a huge walkout after Jesus Peace, or after Advent. I remember that.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Oh, before Sect?
Mm-hmm.
Oh, rats. Oh, well. He was in that band Enabler, too, for a while.
I didn't know that.
They were pretty cool. I don't know if he still is.
Somebody, and I have to set this straight, on the last episode that came out, somebody said that Andy was in 7 Angels, 7 Plagues. That is not true.
I was going to say, I don't think I've heard of that.
It was not
he
true.
in Race Trader?
Yes, he was.
Okay. That makes sense. With Pete.
That was the band.
Race Trader.
Yeah.
Is that the one they were thinking of?
I couldn't think of the name. Yeah.
Because they're playing shows again.
That's crazy.
Or maybe like the last few years. I saw some video. Oh, no. Didn't they do some reunion?
I feel like a band with that name can't exist anymore.
Well, I think he's like not white, the singer. I don't know. I think it's like kind of their thing. It's like it is like a political thing.
What's that really good fastcore band from Savannah? The Straight Edge band. That's
fastcore.
Defiant Path.
Oh yeah. Yeah, they quit playing shows.
Why?
I'm not sure. I know some of the guys are working on some other stuff. I've heard some recordings that sound really cool.
Ethan was supposed to do an episode a while back, but it never panned out.
Oh yeah, maybe he can do one with his new stuff.
Is he in the new stuff?
Yeah, I think he's like singing in this new thing. He showed me a couple tracks. Pretty sweet. I think I like it a little more than Defiant Path.
How old are they? Like they seem young.
The rest of they're all pretty young. They're definitely younger than us. I think Ethan is closer to my age. I'm not exactly sure how old, but they're all like mid-20s.
Were they around? Like what was?
Yeah, so some of the guys, I think, I forget who all exactly was in the band, but kind of in that group. One of the guys plays in Psycho Frame now.
Okay.
So he's like up in Atlanta most of the time. Ethan is working on that new stuff. I think another guy like joined the military. And then I want to say Jasper. I think Jasper played drums in that band. He plays drums in Street Sweeper, which is a Savannah band. They went on that run with us.
Mm-hmm.
He's in, what's that other name? Keep Reaching from Florida. He's like in all kinds of stuff because he's a drummer, so he's spread so thin, doing a million things. Yeah. But they're all still doing stuff. Yeah.
Cool.
Street Sweeper's dope. I tattoo a lot of those guys. So I see them at the shop and stuff all the time. They're sick.
Isn't Just Be another band from Savannah?
Yeah. They're like a little more punk.
That's what I thought.
Because that's the thing with Savannah is there's kind of like, it's all one scene really because it's so small.
Yeah.
But there is kind of like a punk side and a metal side. I would say hardcore, but it's like there's so few hardcore bands in Savannah that it's not really a hardcore scene. There's just kind of like a heavy scene.
Like even you guys are more metallic than.
Yeah. We're definitely more metal influenced. Like they listen to a lot of Pantera and Meshuggah and stuff like that.
Yeah. And
I listen to rap and 60s doo-wop, whatever else.
That's so fucking
weird. I just like to chill, man.
We got so off course, but that's the way things go.
Oh yeah, I'm chilling.
But what's Agonize got coming up? Y'all got some plans?
So I think Nolan is recording right now. He just went up there, so he's going to record guitars. We got 5 more songs we're going to put out pretty soon. So we're recording. We're doing vocals here too shortly. So we got those worked out. I'm really stoked on the new songs. I think we're finally kind of like our sound is kind of coming together now, especially after the experiment of like the first release. We were kind of just like winging it. But yeah, it's dope. I'm stoked on the new songs. This month, September, we're going to be playing a couple of shows with Torture on their run like through the Southeast. So we just jumped on a couple of their shows. I think we're going to play with them in Jacksonville, Savannah here, and then in Tampa at the skate park, which is cool because I've never played there. So that'll be fun. And then at the end of that little 3-day thing, we're going to play a pre-show of this Night Shift merch fest they're doing in Daytona, I think. I'm sure there's like an actual name for it, but we're playing a pre-show before the fest with Raw Brigade headlining.
Oh, sick. Yeah.
So that'll be cool. That'll be really fun to check them out. I've never seen them before.
Good band.
So just recording, trying to kind of stay relevant, be out there, play shows. We just played Ends of Sanity's record release. That was really fun.
Nice guys.
Yeah, super dope. James has helped us out a lot with kind of like booking us and doing favors for us. So it's been cool getting to know them. And that show we had a fill-in drummer, so that was cool too. Just to kind of try out.
Ian is supposed to come on tomorrow.
Oh, from the band?
Yeah.
Hell yeah. That'll be sick.
I already talked to Cam, but we talked a lot more about Eyes Wide Shut than.
Yeah, because they're doing that too.
Yeah.
Is he the singer?
Yeah, he sings.
Okay, yeah. Yeah, he's dope. Yeah, all those dudes are super nice.
We got to play with them with the Hold My Own Ins tour. Run. And it was so fun. Like them and the Hold My Own guys are really cool. So
yeah, they set it off here. People, it's funny because like people don't really hardcore mosh because they're all just college kids that like just started going to shows.
Right.
But there'll be like a whole line of kids up front, like headbanging.
Oh wow.
And people were doing like Ring Around the Rosie shit. I think we saw like a human jump rope. Just weird shit. I'm like, where do you see this and get inspired to do this?
I kind of want to come and play.
You should.
But is it like just cute or is it like cringe?
No, it's cool. I mean, people are definitely cringe.
Yeah.
But I've been young before. True. And I didn't know anything before. And I've been in really bad bands before.
Yeah.
So I'm not going to like shit on some young kid. I just encourage them and hope that they just get better.
Lead by example. You find the gems.
That's the thing. It's like, how can I talk shit? You know, we're the older guys that have to show them.
You got to pick up those diamonds. Like you pick up the pieces of coal and you just shape them.
Exactly. You got to find the ones that really actually like it.
And then make them into elitist assholes.
Exactly.
Yes.
Make them into gatekeepers.
Brother.
But there's a lot of cool young kids like filming stuff and taking photos and doing all kinds of cool shit. Savannah's a really creative town. So it's cool that people are all kind of coming into the scene and collabing and doing stuff.
I've had a few bands that I talked to on here that are like Savannah's like their favorite city they've played in a while.
Hell yeah. That's awesome. I hope that we can just get a reputation, you know, of being a place people want to come play. Because I feel like for a long time, people would just pass through, you know?
Yeah.
People stop by when they're driving to Florida, they stop in town and hang out, but nobody wanted to play here. And there wasn't really many good venues for a while. And the shows weren't like super big, but I think now post COVID and kids are just into heavier stuff now. It's just like exploded. And it's kind of like that everywhere we go. Like all the shows we've played are mostly young people in giant pants. And I'm stoked. I'm like, hell yeah, maybe it's coming back.
Dude, we played in Worcester about a month or so ago. And I was watching the first band. It's like one of those Afira style metalcore bands.
Yeah.
And one of their friends was moshing and out of nowhere, dude, cracked my rib. Like kicked me so hard. And it was one of those little, 19-year-old kids in big pants.
Yeah.
And I was
just
like,
warriors, man.
I was like, that's dope, but also I hate you so much right now.
Yeah, that sucks. Yeah, when you're 30, that fucking sucks.
And I had to go play a set after my fucking rib. So it was sick.
That's horrible.
It was awesome though. I was like, you know what? Respect.
Yeah, it's like, it sucks, but you're stoked for them at the same time.
Yeah. It's like, I love that y'all have this.
Exactly.
He's also in that band Jackal, the guy that was moshing.
Oh, okay. I think, where is that band from?
Jackal's from Western Mass, I believe.
Okay. I can't remember if we're playing a show with them or not. I don't think so.
We're just so close to Western Mass that it's like...
Oh, yeah, you're right there.
Yeah. Like Albany's 3 hours away.
That's crazy that it's so close to Canada.
Yeah.
Weird.
Syracuse is 4 hours. Yeah. Everything's pretty close. It's nice.
Because I guess when we went up there, I just didn't realize like how far north we actually were.
Like, yeah. I remember Deal with God came and played with that band Cold Case. That was the dudes from like Born Low.
Okay.
And it was like, oh yeah, we used to come and play here all the time, but we like haven't been because we thought the scene was dead. Was that? No.
Yeah, it's so weird.
No.
Yeah, well, the scene is definitely living again in Savannah, and school's about to get back into, so hopefully have some bigger turnouts.
That's the time. That's the time to play.
Yeah, September is when SCAD gets back in, so that's when all the shit happens for sure.
Hell yeah. Well, Spencer, I appreciate you, and I'm excited for seeing what Agonize is coming out with.
Yeah, man. Stoked to release it. It's been fun talking to you and seeing you again.
I have one last question for you before we go.
Yes.
What's your favorite city for beans and breakdowns?
I don't know, man. That's a tough one. Because I don't really experiment with beans too much. Coffee's kind of all the same to me. I'm going to have to say Savannah right now.
It's the easy one.
It is the easy one, but we got good coffee.
That's true. Perk. Go.
Lumpy likes the coffee. All the Northeast guys, they come down and go to Perk.
That's good to know, actually.
Yeah, got a good review on Coffee Guy.
That's all that matters.
I will say this. Savannah's not the top for beans and breakdowns yet, but we got some pretty good coffee and the breakdowns are getting there.
The breakdowns are getting there.
We're breaking it down.
Yeah.
And hopefully more bands will pop up. People need to learn how to play drums though. And I guess how can you play drums when you're a college kid living in the dorms?
Well, Spencer, very much appreciate you hanging out.
Yeah, for sure.
Hopefully we talk sooner than later, sooner than 10 years.
Yeah, definitely. And come down to Savannah too if you want to play a show, man. If you got a little run worked out or something.
I'm trying to get it.
Let us know.
We use my mom's as home base. You know what I'm saying?
Oh, yeah, exactly.
So
yeah, let us know, man. We'll do it for you.
Cheers.
Thanks for listening to this episode of Beans and Breakdowns. I want to say a huge thanks to Spencer for hanging out on the podcast. If you haven't already listened to the latest release from Agonize, Demons on 11, be sure to check it out. It's available on all streaming platforms. If you've enjoyed the podcast, please subscribe and leave a review. You can find out more information about the podcast by following us on Instagram at Beans and Breakdowns or on the web at beansandbreakdowns.com. Until next week, be sure to stay caffeinated and wake the fuck up.